So welcome, Richard, to today's Advent calendar for Upper Choslin Baptist Church. And the things that are on your mind today are to do with preparing well for the Christmas season.
And especially getting everything done in time. There's a huge pressure to do that, I know, but you might be tempted to think, well, if I don't get all the cards done, if they arrive late, it won't matter. Or if, we can't even get all the carol services we'd like to have, so we have one a bit later. I'll tell you something, never have a carol service after Christmas. It can be a huge disaster.
A carol service after Christmas?
After Christmas. It's like a bottle of pop and you leave the cork out and all the fizz goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you experienced an after Christmas carol service?
Oh yes, we did.
Yes.
When we were young Salvation Army officers in South London, we did a lot of work on an estate out there, and senior citizens came in droves. We had a marvellous time.
Yeah.
I, as a young officer, they thought I was their son, I think, some of them. And we went on trips down into Kent to the orchards and so forth. We went to watch Cliff Richard in his first decade.
Wow.
And, they loved it. So we decided, because in our main building we had Christmas carol services at the proper time, that we would put on a special Christmas carol service after Christmas.
Okay.
Because they all seemed to want to support. But when the day came, we invited our divisional commander to come, and he came in full uniform, but hardly anybody else to start with was around. And then one by one we had the junior band coming, and they came in dribs and drabs, coming from the afterglow of Christmas.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were slow on the uptake, and half the congregation that we might have expected never turned up at all.
Oh gosh.
Some people who were going to do readings didn't come.
Oh no.
And to crown it all, the caretaker of this senior citizens hall decided that he would try and add a bit of spice to proceedings, and he brought out a big bottle of wine, forgetting, of course, that the Salvation Army are teetotalers.
Oh, okay.
And especially the divisional commander, who was presented with this bottle of wine. and didn't want it. And I could see the divisional commander's face going, a shade colour
Yes.
all the way through the afternoon. And although we managed to stagger to the end with a very depleted congregation, I thought to myself, it doesn't matter how hard I work, I will try and get Christmas things done for Christmas.
Yes.
Afterwards, it's just a failure.
Oh.
So that was my resolve, and I've tried to keep it.
Interesting. But I think it's a very good analogy, isn't it? Because as well as all the practical preparations, which are so important, there's a kind of an inner preparation as well, isn't there?
Oh,
and
yeah.
we need to make sure that we, like you say, leave yourself time to actually be prepared, both practically, but also leave yourself time to be prepared inwardly for celebrating the season. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what came to our rescue in the end, with what might have been a total disaster, because although all the planning things didn't work, actually I do think it made us really realise that Jesus was the centre, and he's alive, and he was interested in what was going on.
Yeah.
And so, we made the best of it, and I think we're older and wiser after it was over.
Yeah.
But actually, I do think Jesus got the glory from what had appeared to be a disjointed effort.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, you know, people saw the funny side of
Yeah,
it.
which is good,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because there is a lot of pressure on everyone to have the perfect Christmas.
Yes.
And quite often, it isn't like that. Something goes wrong, or somebody can't come, or something doesn't arrive in the post, or whatever.
Yes.
When we make Jesus the focus of our Christmas, then, you know, all those things, yeah, maybe we're a bit disappointed, but those things that don't matter compared to the fact that what we're really celebrating is the fact that the Saviour came. Isn't
Yes,
it?
Yes.
it is. And I do think the Lord knows our hearts. We wanted to make it a special occasion.
Yeah.
Okay, it didn't work out in quite the way, but because our hearts were directed towards Jesus, we wanted to honour him.
Yeah.
And, you know, even those Brands boys who came and with their instruments made a joyful noise. And we finished up on good terms. And I didn't get the sack quite.
Well, there we go. See, all good. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. That's
Okay,
great.
right.